On these dies, it's set up for an 8.5 inch panel.
Okay.
With the split spacer on the outside of your dies. When you want to change to a 10.5 inch panel, you just loosen up your collar, pull your split spacer out on the top shaft, slide this die out, insert that split spacer right in the middle, and just hold the bottom split spacer with your fingers, slide that die back, tighten down your collar, and you don't have to really crank on this, just give it some nice pressure. Take your Velcro and insert it around the split. And you don't have to crank on these two because it will break. And I gave you guys some extras just in case, but you don't have to do much with them. Then you can just lock this top collar back down. We're done with the top shaft. And again, you don't have to really crank on this collar, just so that spacer's not really flopping around. Even if it'll move a little bit, when you actually crank down on this Allen on the collar, it will set it and lock it. So as long as you can't spin that spacer when you're done tightening down this Allen, you should be alright. So I can't move that.
So that's good then.
Yep. As far as the bottom, take off the skinny blue one first, and it's going to go in the middle of your bottom dies.
Okay.
But for right now, I just kind of want to get it out of the way. I'll just set it down in the belly with its Velcro. And when you're taking your reds out for the 10.5, you don't have to take the Velcro off. You can just slide it back on this spacer and pull your red spacers out. And they're labeled alphabetically throughout the whole machine. I started at A and I made it through Z and kind of had to go like A1, A2, A3 in the last couple passes. But you can just grab the blue collar spacers that are according alphabetically. So you can just set those right inside. And on this one, you'll have to actually hold the collar and just set that Velcro around it. Tighten it down. Then move your die outward. Now you can go back to your middle and do the same thing to it. Put a little bit of pressure on it. Loosen that collar back up and give yourself some room to work over here because you have a red one on the outside here. Again, you don't have to take it off, you can just slide it out of your way. And this one's labeled F. And you're labeled F here also, just in case you want to get that.
Yeah.
So you can just leave these spacers just kind of setting right down here for each pass. You don't want to mix them up because they are pass specific. And underneath it'll actually tell you 8B8. The first number is what pass it is. So like you'll have pass 10 here. It goes 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There isn't a pass 9 on this machine because it would be right here. We actually skip it. So you can just insert this back behind, and to save yourself some time and trouble, you can just lock your collar down and then put your Velcro back on. And always make sure to relock your collars with a 1/4 inch Allen, because if one of these collars is loose, it'll actually back off when the shaft is spinning. It'll throw it right into a bearing, and it will immediately just crack this bearing right in half. We've seen them pop. It's not pretty, it's not fun to fix, so it's just a lot easier to make sure that they're tight. And now this pass is set up for the 10.5 inch blank.
As opposed to this pass, which is the 8.5 inch, and that's the
8.5, your dies will be together. There won't be a spacer in between them.
Right.
10.5 has a spacer top and bottom, plus the blue spacers on the outsides of your dies. Compared to the 8.5, your dies top and bottom are together, and you have red spacers next to the dies.